The phone shattered the silence of Justin's Brooklyn apartment like a gunshot at 2 a.m., the screen lighting up with Austin's name in jagged white letters against the black void of his nightstand. Justin, God. Justin. I can't do this anymore. His brother's voice cracked through the line, raw and ragged, sobs choking the words like broken glass. In the background, a tiny wail pierced the static, a child's cry, small and terrified, the sound of a world unraveling before Justin could even sit up. Justin's heart slammed against his ribs as he bolted upright, the sheets tangling around his legs like accusations. Austin? What the hell? Slow down. Man. Where are you? But the line was already flooding with pleas, Austin's breaths coming in hyperventilating gasps, the toddler's cries swelling into a symphony of chaos that drowned out reason. Justin's bare feet hit the cold hardwood floor, the chill seeping up from the bones of the old brownstone like a warning he couldn't heed. He flicked on the lamp, its yellow glow casting long shadows across the minimalist chaos of his life. Stacks of unread manuscripts on the coffee table, a half-empty bottle of bourbon from last night's pity party, and the faded Polaroid of him and Austin taped to the fridge. Two gangly teens in cut-off jeans, arms slung around each other at a Jersey Shore bonfire, grins wide enough to swallow the sun. That was before Austin's spiral, before the drugs and the bad decisions that turned their unbreakable bond into a frayed wire ready to snap. I'm in the city, Austin rasped, his voice a gravelly whisper now, as if speaking too loud might summon the demons at his door. At that shithole motel off Flatbush. The kid, Liam, he's yours now. I left him with the sitter, but she's gone, and I can't keep him safe. Not like this. A pause, heavy as lead, then the gut punch. Promise me you'll take him. He's all I've got left that's good. Liam. Justin's mind reeled, flashing to the last time he'd seen his nephew, 18 months old then, all chubby cheeks and gummy smiles, tugging at Austin's sleeve during a rare family barbecue in their mom's backyard in Queens. Austin had been clean for 6 months that summer, beaming like he'd conquered the world, vowing to be the dad their own father never was. But promises from Austin were like smoke, beautiful until you tried to hold them. What do you mean? He's yours now? Justin's voice trembled, his free hand raking through his tousled dark hair, the kind that always looked effortlessly messy but tonight felt like a crown of thorns. He was 32, a freelance graphic designer scraping by on gigs for indie bands and queer lit mags, out and proud since college but still single, still nursing the ghost of a breakup that left him wary of anything resembling family. Austin, you're his father. You can't just. I have to. The finality in Austin's tone sliced through the denial. The wolves are closing in, bro. Debts. Bad guys. If I don't run, they'll take him. Or worse. Another sob, muffled now, like he was pressing the phone to his chest. I love him, just more than my own skin. But I love you too. You're the only one who gets it, who gets me. Raise him right. Be the uncle I never deserved. The line went dead with a click that echoed like a slamming door. Justin stared at the phone, his thumb hovering over redial, but his gut twisted with the certainty that Austin was already gone, vanished into the underbelly of the city like so many times before. He dressed in a frenzy, yanking on jeans and a hoodie, his mind a whirlwind of what-ifs. A 2-year-old. Liam, barely out of diapers, thrust into his lap like a grenade with the pin pulled. What the hell did he know about kids? His longest relationship had ended because his ex called him emotionally unavailable, and now the universe was handing him a toddler to prove the point? The cab ride to the motel was a blur of sodium-lit streets and the driver's classic rock radio crooning Springsteen. Fitting, Justin thought bitterly, the boss always singing about blue-collar heartbreak in the Garden State. The rain started as they crossed the bridge, fat drops smacking the windshield like accusatory fingers. By the time he stumbled into the motel's flickering neon lobby, soaked to the bone, the night clerk, a weary woman with a smoker's rasp, eyed him like he was just another junkie looking for a fix. "Room 207, she said, sliding a key across the counter without asking questions. "Kid's up there." Crying his eyes out. Social services was called, but the uncle showed first. Lucky break. Justin took the stairs 2 at a time, his pulse thundering in his ears. The door to 207 hung ajar, spilling a sliver of dim light into the hallway. Inside, the room was a tomb of despair. Unmade bed with stained sheets, takeout containers fossilized on the dresser, and in the corner, a playpen crammed with a sippy cup and a ratty stuffed bear. Liam sat there, knees drawn to his chest. His tiny face crumpled in confusion and grief, fat tears carving tracks down his flushed cheeks. He looked up at Justin with wide, hazel eyes just like Austin's, and let out a wail that could curdle milk. "Hey, buddy," Justin whispered, dropping to his knees beside the playpen, his voice cracking like thin ice. He reached out a tentative hand, and Liam recoiled at first, then lunged forward, burying his snotty face in Justin's neck. The weight of the boy, warm, solid, heartbreakingly small, hit Justin like a freight train. He scooped him up, rocking instinctively, murmuring nonsense about superheroes and sunny days while his own tears burned hot and silent. They didn't sleep that night. Justin bundled Liam into the cab back to Brooklyn, the toddler finally conking out against his chest, thumb jammed in his mouth like a lifeline. Back in his apartment, Justin cleared the coffee table of its adult debris, fashioning a makeshift bed from blankets and pillows. As dawn crept through the blinds, painting the room in bruised purples and golds, he sat on the floor, Liam's tiny hand curled around his finger, and made a vow to the empty air. "I got you, little man. Whatever it takes." The first week was a gauntlet of firsts. The pediatrician appointment where a no-nonsense doc confirmed Liam was healthy but underweight, prescribing formula and a multivitamin with a side eye that said, "Get your shit together, uncle." Grocery runs turned into battlefield maneuvers, dodging judgmental stares in the organic aisle as Justin fumbled with car seats and organic purees. His freelance gigs piled up, deadlines looming like storm clouds, but he hammered through the nights, laptop glowing while Liam babbled from his crib, the soundtrack to Justin's unraveling. Friends rallied, of course. His best pal, Marco, a flamboyant theater director with a laugh like thunder, showed up with bags of hand-me-downs and a bottle of tequila. "Honey, you're doing the Lord's work," Marco drawled, scooping Liam into a hug that elicited the first genuine giggle Justin had heard. "But if you don't get laid soon, you'll turn into one of those tragic gays from a Terrence McNally play." Justin forced a laugh, but the truth gnawed at him. Dating? In this circus? His Grindr app sat dormant, a relic of pre-Liam freedom. He was too exhausted, too terrified of letting anyone close enough to see the cracks. Austin's shadow lurking in every decision, every doubt. It was on a crisp October Saturday, 3 weeks in, that the first crack of light pierced the gloom. Justin had taken Liam to Prospect Park, the leaves a riot of reds and golds under a sky so blue it hurt. They picnicked on the grass, peanut butter sandwiches for Justin, mashed banana for Liam, when a rogue frisbee sailed their way, landing with a thud at Justin's feet. He tossed it back, expecting a quick thanks, but the thrower jogged over, all easy grace and dimpled smile. Appreciate the save, man. These things have a mind of their own. The guy was mid-30s, built like he hit the gym but not obsessively, broad shoulders under a faded Yankees tee, jeans that hugged in all the right places, and eyes the color of aged whiskey, warm and knowing. He crouched down to Liam's level, offering a high five that the toddler slapped with glee. "Who's this little MVP?" "Your son." "Nephew," Justin said, his voice steadier than he felt. "Liam." "I'm Justin." "Ethan," the guy replied, standing and extending a hand, his grip firm and lingering just a beat too long. "Single dad to a golden retriever named Max. No kids yet, but I'm practicing." He winked, and something in Justin's chest unclenched. A flutter he hadn't felt since college hookups in dorm rooms that smelled of ramen and regret. They talked for an hour about the park's best running trails, Ethan's job as a high school history teacher in Manhattan, Justin's sketches for album covers that sound way cooler than my lesson plans on the Industrial Revolution. Liam dozed in the stroller as the sun dipped low, and when Ethan asked for his number, in case another Frisbee apocalypse hits, Justin handed it over without hesitation, the slip of possibility feeling foreign and fragile. That night, as he tucked Liam in, humming a lullaby their mom used to sing, Justin's phone buzzed. Ethan's text, "Frisbee rematch tomorrow? Bring the champ." Justin smiled into the dark, the weight on his shoulders lightening just enough to breathe. But Austin's ghost wasn't done haunting. A week later, a manila envelope arrived in the mail. No return address, just Justin's name scrawled in Austin's jagged script. Inside, a stack of photos, Polaroids of Liam as a baby, Austin beaming with syringe scars hidden under long sleeves, a crumpled deed to a storage unit in Jersey, and a letter, ink smudged with what looked like tears. "Just, if you're reading this, I'm deep in the shit. The unit has everything. Clothes, toys, my old guitar. Sell it if you need cash. But keep the pictures. Tell Liam his dad was a fuck-up who loved him fierce. And you, don't let this break you. You're the strong one. Always were." Justin's hands shook as he folded the letter, tucking it into his nightstand like a talisman. Strong? He felt like a fraud, piecing together a life from borrowed parts. But for Liam, he'd fake it till it stuck. Ethan became a fixture. Coffee runs that stretched into brunches, park playdates where Liam called him a fan and tugged at his shoelaces. Justin learned Ethan's rhythms, the way he quoted Whitman during walks, his quiet strength when talking about coming out to his conservative folks in Ohio, the scars from a divorce that left him gun-shy but hopeful. Their first kiss happened under a canopy of cherry blossoms in spring. Wait, no, it was autumn still, but the leaves swirled like confetti as Ethan cupped Justin's face, murmuring, "I've been waiting for this." Before their lips met, soft and searching, the world narrowing to the taste of mint and promise. Love bloomed tentative, then fierce. Ethan moved in after 6 months, his books mingling with Justin's art supplies, their mornings a tangle of limbs and laughter. Liam took to him like a second skin, calling him Papa E in a slip that melted them both. Justin dared to dream. A family, pieced from broken brothers and found affections, rooted in the gritty heart of Brooklyn. Yet dreams in the city had teeth, and they sank in deep. The first bite came subtle. A phone call from their mom during a rare date night. Ethan had surprised Justin with tickets to a queer cabaret in the village. the kind with drag queens belting show tunes and martinis strong enough to strip paint. Liam was with a sitter, a college kid from down the hall who cooed over him like he was royalty. "Justin. Honey." Mom's voice quavered through the line as they stepped out into the buzz of Christopher Street, fairy lights twinkling like stars brought low. Austin called. From God knows where. Said he's clean. Wants to see the boy. Justin's stomach dropped, the high of the evening souring like milk left in the sun. Ethan squeezed his hand, thumb tracing circles on his knuckles, a silent anchor. "Tell him no," Justin said finally, the words tasting like ash. "Not until he proves it. Liam's stable now. We can't append that." Mom sighed, the sound of a woman who'd buried hope years ago under layers of denial. "He's your brother. Just blood. Blood doesn't mean shit when it's poisoned," he snapped, then softened. "Sorry, Ma. Just tell him to write letters, like before. Earn it." She agreed, reluctantly, and Justin pocketed the phone, forcing a smile for Ethan's sake. But the seed of doubt had been planted, tendrils wrapping around the fragile normalcy they'd built. That night, in their bed with sheets that still smelled of Ethan's cedar cologne, Justin confessed over whispers in the dark. The endless calls, the relapses, Austin's charm masking the void that swallowed everything good. Ethan listened, chin propped on his hand, moonlight carving shadows across his bare chest. "You're not your brother's keeper, babe. But you're Liam's world. And mine." He pulled Justin close, their bodies aligning like puzzle pieces worn smooth by time. "We'll face it together. That's what this is." Sex followed, slow and reverent, Ethan's hands mapping Justin's skin like he was committing it to memory, fingers tracing the constellation of freckles on his shoulders, lips brushing the hollow of his throat. Justin arched into it, chasing oblivion, but Austin's ghost lingered in the afterglow, a chill draft in the warmth. The letters started arriving sporadically, postcards from dive bars in Philly, scribbled notes on napkins from AA meetings in Baltimore. "Miss you both. Dreaming of apple pie Sundays like when we were kids." Justin read them aloud to Liam, who babbled responses, oblivious to the ache. Ethan encouraged it. "Keeps the door cracked, not wide open," and Justin clung to that wisdom, even as resentment simmered. Winter clamped down on the city like a vice, snow blanketing the brownstones in deceptive purity. Holidays were a milestone, their first as a unit. Ethan strung lights along the fire escape, the glow turning their living room into a haven. They baked gingerbread men, Liam smearing frosting everywhere, his laughter a bomb, and on Christmas Eve, Ethan dropped to one knee by the tree, a simple silver band glinting in his palm. "Marry me, Justin. Not because of the kid or the chaos, but because you make the hard days feel like poetry." Tears pricked Justin's eyes as he nodded, slipping the ring on with trembling fingers. "Yes. God, yes." They made love by the fire's crackle, the ring catching light like a promise etched in starlight, Liam snoring softly in his room. But betrayal wears many masks, and Austin's returned in the spring, thawed and treacherous. It was a Tuesday in April, cherry blossoms shedding petals like confetti on the wind, when the doorbell rang, a sharp, insistent buzz that jolted Justin from his sketchpad. Ethan was at school, Liam napping, the apartment humming with midday quiet. The man on the stoop was a stranger, mid-40s, slick suit, briefcase clutched like a shield. "Mr. Harlan," Detective Ruiz, NYPD. Mind if we talk? Justin's blood ran cold. They sat at the kitchen table, coffee steaming untouched. Ruiz laid out photos. Grainy surveillance shots of Austin in a Queens warehouse, exchanging envelopes with men who looked like they ate nails for breakfast. Your brother's into some heavy shit. Identity theft ring, fencing stolen goods. We think he's funding a habit. Last seen 2 weeks ago, but this address came up in his phone. The photos blurred as Justin's vision swam. He wouldn't. Not anymore. Ruiz's eyes softened, the cop facade cracking. People like him? They circle back. We're not after you. But if he reaches out. The door to Liam's room creaked open, the toddler padding out in dinosaur pajamas, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Unca Jus? Hungry. Ruiz stood, pocketing the photos. Take care of the kid. And yourself. He left a card, the door clicking shut like a judgment. Justin scooped Liam up, burying his face in the boy's downy hair, inhaling the scent of baby shampoo and innocence. But the detective's words festered, poisoning the air. That evening, over takeout lo mein, he told Ethan everything, voice breaking on the details. Ethan's face hardened, jaw set like granite. We protect our own. File for guardianship. Make it legal. Austin doesn't get to waltz back in and blow this up. They did. Hiring a lawyer friend of Marco's. A sharp-dressed dyke named Lena who navigated the courts like a shark in chummed waters. Papers filed. Hearings scheduled. The bureaucracy a slow grind that tested Justin's fraying nerves. Liam sensed the tension, his nightmares returning, wails in the night that no bottle could soothe. Ethan held them through it, his history lessons giving way to bedtime stories of brave knights and loyal squires. But cracks formed in their armor too. Late nights bled into arguments, Ethan's frustration at Justin's secrecy. You shut me out when it hurts most, clashing with Justin's fear of leaning too hard. I don't want to drag you under, he'd say, and Ethan would pull away, the space between them widening like a fault line. The climax brewed that summer, heat wave turning the city into a pressure cooker. Justin's phone rang during a client call, a blocked number, but the voice was unmistakable, slurred and desperate. Jess? It's me. Austin. I need help. They're coming for me. Where are you? Justin's heart hammered, Liam's crayons scattering across the floor as the boy played nearby. Under the bridge. Williamsburg. Please, bro. For old times, he shouldn't have gone. Every instinct screamed it, but blood was thicker, and Austin was the only family he'd ever truly had. The brother who'd taught him to ride a bike on cracked pavement, who'd held him through their parents' divorce, who'd come out with him in a world that still sharpened its knives for boys like them. Ethan was at a faculty mixer. Justin left Liam with the sitter, cab fare burning a hole in his pocket. The bridge loomed like a steel skeleton, graffiti tags bleeding in the humid dusk. Austin huddled in the shadows, gaunt and feral, track marks mapping his arms like a junkie's atlas. You came, he breathed, lunging for a hug that Justin half-dodged. What the fuck? Austin, cops, rings? You swore. I know. Austin's eyes darted. Wild. One last score. For Liam. Diapers. School. I was gonna go straight. He pressed a duffel into Justin's hands. Heavy. Zip tight. Take this. Cash from the fence. Use it for the kid. Justin recoiled, the bag thudding to the ground. No. I'm done cleaning up your messes. A shout echoed from the darkness. Footsteps. Shadows multiplying. Austin's face twisted in panic. Run. Just go. They bolted, Austin shoving him toward the light, the duffel abandoned like a bad omen. Gunshots cracked the air. Pop, 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 like fireworks gone wrong. Justin stumbled into the street, lungs burning, hailing a cab with shaking hands. He didn't look back until the bridge receded, but the screams haunted him. Austin's voice, raw and pleading, cut short. The news hit at midnight. Body found under the bridge. Male, mid-30s, multiple GSWs. No ID, but the description matched. Justin collapsed in Ethan's arms, the world fracturing into shards of grief and guilt. I left him, he sobbed. My own brother. Ethan rocked him, fierce and unyielding. You saved yourself. For Liam. For us. The funeral was a pauper's affair. Closed casket in a queen's chapel that smelled of incense and regret. Mom clutched rosary beads, her face a mask of stoic sorrow. Marco eulogized, voice breaking on tales of Austin's laugh, his hidden kindnesses. Justin spoke last, words tumbling out like confessions. You were my mirror, U.S. Flawed as hell, but you showed me how to fight. Rest easy, brother. I've got this. In the cemetery, under a sky heavy with unshed rain, Justin scattered dirt on the grave. Liam balanced on his hip, too young to understand but old enough to feel the weight. Ethan stood sentinel, hand on Justin's back, a tether in the storm. Grief settled like dust after the storm, coating everything in a fine, choking layer. The apartment, once a haven, echoed with absences. Austin's letters tucked in a shoebox under the bed, Ethan's books gathering dust on untouched shelves. The engagement ring felt like a shackle some days, a lifeline others. Justin threw himself into work, designing covers for memoirs about loss and redemption, the irony not lost on him. Liam turned 3 that fall, a dinosaur-themed party in the park where kids smeared cake and Ethan chased them in a T-Rex costume, roaring until his face turned red. But the duffel bag retrieved by police, contents seized as evidence, left ripples. Ruiz called a month later, your brother's crew? Busted. But one of them talked. Said Austin was planning to run. Take the kid. Protection money or some bullshit. Justin's blood iced. He wouldn't. People do desperate things. Ruiz paused, voice gentling. You're clear. Just watch your back. Paranoia bloomed, shadows lengthening in doorways. Ethan noticed. Of course, his teacher's eye sharp foretells. Talk to me, he'd urge over dinner. Fork paused midair. I'm fine, Justin lied, pushing peas around his plate while Liam chattered about preschool finger paints. But nights brought dreams. Austin's face, accusatory, mouthing why'd you leave? Justin woke sweating, Ethan's arm a heavy comfort he both craved and resented. The betrayal came not from ghosts, but flesh. It started with a letter from Mom, forwarded from Austin's old P.O. box. Just found this in his things. Thought you should know. Enclosed was a journal, Austin's scrawl filling pages with fevered entries. Justin's got it all. The life, the guy. Jealous as hell. Maybe if I show up, shake things loose. Justin read by lamplight, heart splintering. Entries devolved into rants. He took my son like I was nothing. Thinks he's better. The golden boy. Lies woven with truths. Austin's envy. His isolation. The gnawing belief that Justin had stolen his redemption. The final page. Dated days before the bridge. One play. Get the cash. Grab Liam. Start over. Bro won't see it coming. Tears blurred the ink. Betrayal. Sharp as a shank. Austin hadn't just fallen. He'd plotted to claw back what he'd lost, using Liam as pawn. Justin burned the journal in the sink that night, flames licking up the hate, but the scars remained. He confronted Mom at her diner in Flushing, the air thick with grease and nostalgia. She poured coffee with trembling hands, eyes red-rimmed. He was lost, baby. We all were. You kept this from me? Justin's voice rose, drawing stares from the lunch rush. He was going to kidnap his own kid from me. She flinched, but met his gaze. I thought, maybe forgiveness. For you both. Forgiveness. He laughed, bitter. That's what got us here. He stormed out, the bell jingling like mockery. Back home, Ethan waited, Liam asleep upstairs. What happened? Justin collapsed onto the couch, the story spilling out in halting sobs. Ethan's face cycled through shock, anger, sorrow mirroring Justin's own. He was sick. Just addiction twists everything. But it hurts. Justin's fists clenched. Like he chose the needle over us. Ethan pulled him close, lips brushing his temple. Then we choose each other. Every day, intimacy returned, tentative, a brush of hands in the kitchen, stolen kisses in the hallway. But trust, that fragile bird, fluttered wounded. Ethan withdrew into lesson plans, Justin into sketches that bled darkness. Fractured brothers, shadowed lovers. Marco staged an intervention over brunch. Darlings, you're both hot messes, but love this good? Fight for it. They tried therapy, couple sessions in a sunlit office overlooking the East River, where a soft-spoken shrink named Dr. Patel unpacked the layers. Grief isn't linear, she'd say, as Justin vented about Austin's ghost, Ethan about feeling like an outsider in the Harlan drama. Homework, date nights sans kid talk, love letters hidden in lunch bags. It worked, in fits. A weekend getaway to the Catskills. Cabin by a lake. No signal, just them. They hiked trails lined with ferns, Ethan reciting trail lore, Justin sketching wildflowers. Evenings by the fire, wine loosening tongues, Ethan confessing his fear of fatherhood, the divorce scars that whispered not enough. Justin admitted the terror of losing another piece of family. Under star-pricked skies, they made love on a blanket, bodies urgent and unhurried. Ethan's whispers, "You're my home," sealing cracks with heat and hope. Back in the city, Liam greeted them with hugs and a finger-painted sign. Welcome Bach Papa J plus a fan. The High Court hearing for guardianship came in November, leaves skeletal against gray skies. Lena argued flawlessly, Justin's stability, Ethan's support, Austin's absence proven by death certificate. The judge, a stern woman with kind eyes, granted full custody, her gavel a punctuation on the past. Justin and Liam walked out into the chill, Ethan swinging the boy onto his shoulders. We're official, champ. Unbreakable. But life, that sly bastard, had one more twist. December brought a knock at dawn. A social worker, clipboard in hand, face etched with apology. Anonymous tip. Allegations of instability. Home visit required. Justin's world tilted. Who? Can't say, but her eyes flicked away, and Justin knew, Mom, or some distant relative. Whispers of Austin's real family reclaiming the orphan. The inspection was a farce. Toys tidied, fridge stocked, but the workers' notes lingered on emotional strain, glimpsing Justin's shadowed eyes. Ethan raged later. "This is bullshit." Fight it. They did. Lawyers and appeals. But the strain mounted. Holidays loomed, strings of lights mocking their frayed edges. Justin snapped one night, after a denied motion, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I can't do this." Ethan's face crumpled. "Don't you dare. We're in this." The fight escalated. Words like shrapnel. Ethan's accusation of martyrdom. Justin's fear of entrapment. Doors slammed. Silence thicker than fog. Liam, sensing the rift, clung tighter, his "I love you's" a plea. Rock bottom hit on New Year's Eve. Fireworks blooming over the river as Justin sat alone on the fire escape, bourbon burning his throat. Ethan found him there, coat pulled tight against the wind. "I called Marco. We're seeing Patel solo tomorrow." Justin nodded, numb. "I love you. But if this breaks us." "It won't." Ethan's voice brooked no argument, pulling him inside to the warmth of arms and forgiveness. Spring thawed the ice, therapy weaving them tighter. The custody challenge fizzled. Tip unsubstantiated. Worker reassigned. But the scare lingered, a reminder of fragility. Justin proposed back, under the same cherry tree where Ethan had first knelt. Ring swapped for a vow renewed. Forever starts now. Years folded like origami, sharp creases marking growth. Liam hit kindergarten, all gap-toothed grins and backpack bigger than him. Ethan volunteering for show and tell with tales of ancient Rome. Justin's career bloomed, a book deal for his graphic novel. Brothers in Ink. Illustrations of two boys against a skyline of storms. The dedication, "For Austin, who taught me to draw the darkness." Reviews praised its raw humanity, queer heart beating fierce. Book tour took him cross-country LA. Readings in hipster cafes. Chicago panels on family redefinition. Ethan and Liam joined for the finale in NYC. A launch party at a Soho gallery where Marco emceed. Drag queens toasting with champagne flutes. Pride that summer was electric. Rainbow floats snaking through Manhattan. Liam perched on Ethan's shoulders waving a flag. Justin's hand in his. The crowd a sea of unapologetic joy. They danced till midnight, sweat slick and alive, collapsing into bed with laughter echoing. But conflict simmered beneath, old wounds itching. Austin's birthday, July 15th, became a ritual. Visit to the grave, Liam placing wildflowers, Justin reading a letter aloud. "Miss your dumb jokes, bro. Liam's got your eyes, trouble and all." This year, Liam asked, "Why'd Daddy go away?" Justin knelt, soil damp under his knees. "He was sick, buddy. But he loved you big as the sky. And he's watching, cheering your soccer goals." Liam nodded, solemn, then grinned. "Like a ghost goalie?" Ethan chuckled from the path. But Justin saw the flicker. Envy? No. Later he'd learn it was fear. Ethan confessed over ice cream that night. "Sometimes I worry I'm just the step-in. Not blood." "You're everything," Justin said. Fierce. Blood's overrated. Romance reignited in stolen moments. Ethan's surprise poetry slams. Justin's sketches of them as superheroes. Captain Steady and the Artist. Saving the day with love and crayons. Sex evolved. Deeper. Mornings lazy with sunlight. Exploring edges they'd shied from. Ethan's dominance gentle. Justin's surrender trusting. Yet betrayal's echo returned in a package. From a lawyer in Jersey. Austin's estate settled late. A trust fund, small, $20,000 from the storage unit sale, but attached, a letter Austin wrote pre-bridge. If I don't make it, tell Just I'm sorry. For envying his light. He deserved it all. Tears came, cathartic. Justin shared it with Ethan, who held him through the sobs. Forgiveness isn't for him anymore. It's for you. The climax crested unexpectedly. A summer storm in August. They were at Coney Island, boardwalk alive with screams from the cyclone, cotton candy melting in the heat. Liam dashed ahead to the arcade, Ethan and Justin trailing, hands linked. A voice cut through the din. Justin. He turned, and there she was, Claire, Austin's ex. Liam's mother, vanished after the birth, rumored to have fled to Cali with a new life. She was older, lines etched around eyes that mirrored Liam's. A man at her side, tattooed, wary. I saw the book, she said, voice thick. Heard about everything. I want to meet him. My son. Justin's world narrowed, pulse roaring. Ethan tensed beside him, hand gripping tight. Now, after years, Claire's eyes welled. I was young, scared. Austin. He pushed me away. But I followed the story. Saw the wedding announcement in the paper. She glanced at their rings, softening. You built something beautiful. I don't want to break it. Just know him. Liam bounded back, clutching a stuffed seahorse. Unca daddies, won a prize. Claire gasped, hand to mouth. Justin knelt, drawing Liam close. Buddy, this is a friend of Daddy Austin's. Claire. The boy tilted his head, curious. Hi. Wanna see my fishy? She nodded, tears spilling, crouching to his level. They talked, halting, awkward. Claire sharing stories of Austin's wild youth, Liam chattering about school. Ethan watched, jaw set, whispering to Justin, your call. But we're solid. The conflict raged internal. Betrayals sting fresh. Austin's plots a shadow. Yet humanity whispered. Claire's remorse genuine. Liam's innocence a bridge. One coffee, Justin decided. Supervised. Then we see. Weeks blurred into meetings. Neutral ground. Park bench. Claire's tales filling gaps. She was clean. A graphic designer herself. Irony noted, remarried. Childless by choice until now. I regret running, she admitted. But seeing him happy. It's enough. Ethan warmed slowly, bonding over dad jokes, but tension simmered. One night, post-dinner, he snapped, this feels like Austin 2.0. Dragging in ghosts. It's not, Justin argued, voice rising in the kitchen. Liam Abed. It's giving Liam roots. All of them. And us? What if she wants more visitation? Courts. She won't. But doubt crept, fraying threads. The peak hit at a family barbecue. Mom's backyard. Grill smoking with burgers. Marco DJing Motown. Claire arrived tentative, bearing pie. Laughter flowed. Stories swapped. Liam bridging with hugs. But as dusk fell, Claire pulled Justin aside. I want weekends. Shared custody. For him, the world tilted. No. We just started. It's his right. Mine. Her eyes hardened, the mother emerging fierce. Ethan overheard, face ashen. See? I told you. The argument exploded later. In the car ride home, Liam dozing in back. "You're choosing her. Again," Ethan yelled, tires screeching through Queens. "I'm choosing him," Justin shot back. "Family isn't blood or rings. It's what we build." They didn't speak for days. The apartment a minefield of silences. Liam picked up the vibe, tantrums flaring. Justin crashed on Marco's couch, heart shredded. Dr. Patel mediated. Betrayal's a cycle. Break it with truth. Reconciliation came raw. Ethan at the door, eyes red. "I was scared of losing you to this." Justin pulled him in. "Never. You're my constant." They faced Claire together, lawyer in tow, mediated agreement visits, holidays, no custody grab. She agreed, tearful. "For Liam. And you too. Thanks for holding the fort." Fall brought healing, joint therapy. Liam's first soccer game where Claire cheered from the sidelines. Ethan coaching. Justin snapping photos. Romance reignited. A vow renewal under autumn oaks. Rings exchanged anew. Guests toasting their resilience. Time, that great eroder, smoothed the edges. Liam grew lanky, 8 now, with Austin's hazel mischief and Ethan's steady gaze. A blend of legacies. The apartment traded for a row house in Ditmas Park. Backyard for kickball. Rooms for Marco's sleepovers. Justin's novel sequels flew off shelves. Shadows Unbound exploring queer kinship. Dedications expanding. For Ethan, my anchor. Liam, my light. Austin and Claire, the complicated roots. Ethan earned tenure. His classes on LGBTQ plus history packing halls. Students citing his hot husband stories as inspiration. Dates evolved. Gallery openings where Justin unveiled portraits of their patchwork family. Quiet nights with board games and wine. Bodies familiar yet electric. Conflict lingered in whispers. Claire's visits sparking old jealousies. Mom's health scare pulling them to hospital vigils. But they navigated. Stronger. Group texts for logistics. Therapy check-ins like oil changes. The humanistic arc crested at Liam's 10th birthday. A surprise trip to the Grand Canyon. Austin's dream destination scribbled in that burned journal. They hiked rim trails. Liam's whoops echoing off red rock walls. Ethan quoting native lore. Justin sketching the vastness. At sunset, perched on a ledge, Liam asked, "Am I gay like you guys? Or bi? Or what?" Justin and Ethan exchanged glances, hearts swelling. "Doesn't matter yet, kiddo," Ethan said. "What matters is love, whoever it finds you." Liam grinned, wind tousling his hair. "Like how you found each other?" "Exactly." Justin ruffled his curls. "And how we found you. Nights in the tent. Stars a dome overhead. They made love softly, whispers and touches. The canyon's silence amplifying heartbeats. Betrayal's ghosts faded, replaced by gratitude. For Austin's final gift. The push toward this life. For Claire's return. Widening the circle. For Ethan's unwavering hold. Back in Brooklyn, winter wrapped them gentle. Christmas Eve, snow dusting the stoop. They gathered. Mom frail but beaming. Marco in elf ears. Claire with her husband, toasting eggnog. Liam unwrapped a guitar miniature, like Austin's, strumming off-key carols. Justin watched, chest tight with fullness. Later, abed with Ethan, limbs entwined. He murmured, "We made it." Ethan kissed his brow. "And we'll keep making it." Every messy, beautiful day. The ending wasn't tidy, no bows on wounds, just scars that told stories. But in the quiet hours, Liam's snores from down the hall, the city humming beyond windows, Justin found peace. A gay man's American dream, forged in loss and love, humanistic in its imperfection. Brothers bound not by blood alone, but choice the ultimate romance. As dawn broke, painting the room in gold, Justin traced Ethan's ring finger, whispering to the man who became his horizon, "Here's to us." Unbroken.